The story of Abraham. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, lived a human named Abraham. He was a child of a wealthy salesman named Terah, who sold God statues made out of clay, for a king named Nimrod. Over the years, Abraham helped his father create the clay gods. But Abraham, seeing the logic of the universe, which in turn, made him understand that the universe is moved by cause and effect basis, he also knew that most people in his era knows this, but they choose to lie to themselves, for unknown reasons. He was what we call today, an atheist or scientist. One day, a man came by the store, and asked him for a god for strength. Abraham, understanding the person in front of him is in need of strength, offered him the god that sits the highest in the store, for this is how the god got the highest place. Abraham thought to himself, surely the man understands that the god statue can't move. Thus, this is not how he got to be the highest of statues. The reason for the statue's location is Abraham, who put it there when he arranged the store. The man did not care. Still, he bought the god statue. When he was about to leave, Abraham makes his last attempt to make the man understand that a statue cannot be a god, and asked him, "How old are you, sir?" 70 years old, replied the man. And Abraham said, what would happen to a 70 years old man who worship a one-day-old statue? The man was ashamed, returned the statue, took his money back, and left. After an hour or so, a poor man came to the store, asking for a god for the poor, and the same happened when Abraham gave him the god at the bottom. Now, Abraham discovered that he can actually persuade people by logic. That was new to him, but he needed to explain it to his family somehow. After a while, Abraham's brothers told their father that Abraham is not good at selling gods. After all, he never seems to sell anything. Even when people want to buy, he gives them reasons not to buy. Maybe he should be a priest. Terah, their father, asked them, what does a priest do? They replied, they pray and give the gods food and drinks. Terah said, then we shall make Abraham a priest. Then, Abraham stood up and said, those statues have mouths, yet they cannot speak. They have eyes, yet they cannot see. They have ears, yet they cannot hear. They have noses, yet they cannot smell. Their hands can't feel, and their legs can't walk. Making his best arguments he could, thinking to himself, maybe they will get it. Well, they didn't. For them, money is greater than truth. You cannot make money with truth. At this point, Abraham understood that he is surrounded by false ideas, caused by greed. And it's not gonna get any better. He has no way of convincing his family that there are no gods. Now, as his family put him, as the priest of the gods, a woman came to the store, with a basket of food, asking Abraham to give it to the gods. Abraham got very mad. You want me to put food for the statues? As the woman left, he took a stick, and smashed all the statues but the largest one, and put the stick in the statue's hand, and waited for his father's return, thinking to himself, now he will definitely understand. As his father returns, he sees the mess at the store and asks Abraham, what happened here? Abraham replied, you know I won't lie to you, father. A woman came and asked me to bring food for the gods. As I put the food, the little gods rushed to eat before the big god, and he got very angry. He took a stick and smashed all the smaller statues. Look, the stick is still in his hands. Terah, his father, said, do you think that I believe that the statues can think, reason or move? I know, they cannot. Then Abraham said, Father, does your ears hear what your mouth is speaking? Mocking his father in his face. Terah got so very mad, he kicked Abraham away from the house, and sent him to Nimrod's house, which was a great king and priest. He was called Baal, meaning, the owner of fire. Nimrod told Abraham, I'm the master of this universe. Why have you lost your ways? Why don't you believe in the gods? Abraham, seeing a mastermind in front of him, yet again, tried to invoke logic, and said, the world works the following way. Since the world was created, Until now, the sun rise in the east and set in the west. I will call you master of the universe, if you can make the sun rise in the west and set in the east. And if you are the master of the universe as you claim, tell me, what do I think and what will be my future? As Nimrod caressing his beard, thinking about what Abraham said. Abraham said, don't think too hard, you are not the master of the universe, you are the son of Cush, and if you were the master of the universe, surely you could have saved your father from death. Nimrod went to Terah, and said, what should we do with your boy, who does not believe in any gods? I see no other choice but to burn him. Nimrod said to Abraham, worship fire, and you will be saved. Abraham replied, should I worship water, which extinguishes fire? But Nimrod didn't care what Abraham worshipped, as long as he worshipped something. Nimrod said, worship water. Abraham replied, then, shall I worship the clouds, which bring water? Nimrod said, worship the clouds. Abraham replied, then, shall I worship the wind, which disperse clouds? Nimrod said, worship the wind. Abraham replied, then, shall I worship a man who stands the winds? When Abraham reached the human worship idea, as far as Nimrod is concerned, Abraham hinted to him, that he understands that it's all about humans controlling humans. At this point Nimrod said, you are strong with words, but me, I worship only fire. Look, I will create fire, and I will throw you to that fire, and I will untie you, and save you from my fire, only after you announce you have a god. They tied Abraham with a rope to a stone, and surrounded him with wood, and set it on fire. All the villagers and neighbors came to see, telling Terah, what a shame, the same son you used to say, he is the heir of this world and the next, and Nimrod will set him on fire. While Abraham's brother, named Haran, looked at what just happened, and said, if Abraham will win, I'll same with Abraham, if Nimrod will win, I same with Nimrod. Abraham, seeing and realizing they are all crazy and they are actually gonna set him on fire, had to get out of the situation, and the only chance he had, is by showing Nimrod he had any kind of god. Thus, the Abrahamic God was created. And Abraham said to Nimrod, I have a god. Please, release me. And Nimrod, thinking he won, and in front of the whole village, released him, and went to Haran, filled with power, asking him, which god do you believe now? My God, or Abraham's? Haran replied, well, since Abraham's God got him out of the fire, I believe in Abraham's God. Nimrod got so angry, that he threw Haran to the fire, and Haran died in front of his father. Nimrod then went back to Abraham, asking about his God, which God do you believe? Abraham, knowing the truth, that the universe operates under the rules of cause and effect, and the sun will always rise from the east, tried to make up a God. And said, my God is invisible and he has no body, or body-like shape. He is everywhere, and everything. And my God told me that I should leave this place, to a different land. This experience will haunt him for the rest of his life. He understood that ignorance is equals to evil. Now, thinking that ignorance is evil, and that most of the people are ignorant, has a profound effect on his view of life. And from there on, he used God to communicate with the ignorant people on earth. Furthermore, his God will always want what he wants, because he invented that God to manage in this world. The end. Thank you for listening.